Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I have tons and tons of little bitty pieces of scraps, little bitty tiny scraps, like, you know, these little pieces, all of these things that I can't throw away. Why, I have no idea, but I just can't do it. If I think I could ever use it, or anybody could ever use it, I won't throw it away. That's pretty pitiful, isn't it? This is some of that handmade paper that I purchased, and I definitely didn't want to throw that away. Some of the green paper that we have, it's that real thin paper. Of course, book pages is always in there. And just a variety of things. And then we have just some pieces of book pages. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an old file folder. Grab it. This is an old file folder that I have just cut up. It was an old one that had all kinds of writing all over it, and it had just about seen its last day. It's very ragged at the top, and I just cut it up into some different sizes that I use in my journal as far as tags. So we're going to take this old file folder, and all of these little scraps, or not all of them, but some of them, we're going to get rid of some of them, and we're going to make some pretty tags, and they're just going to be scrap tags is what I'm going to call them. They're just going to be pieces of scrap, and we're going to use them to decorate up our tags. And then we'll put some embellishments on them, a focal point, like a flower, a bird, something like that. I've also got a few of these that I'll be using too. These are some that we sell in the store, so we'll be using some of those too. I'm going to use my tear ruler because I like the look of that. And all I am going to do, seriously, well, first I'm going to cut these into a tag shape, and that way I'll know how far up to go with my image or my little pieces. I'll just cut each one differently probably. Won't try to cut them all together. So how are you guys today? I'm making it. I am making it. Most days, that's about all I can say is I'm making it. But I guess it's better than not making it, right? Alright. I am going to just start tearing some of this. Now, I'm going to ink my pieces. You don't have to take the time to do that because I'll probably stitch on a few of them too. This is just something I want to do. And I may stop once I realize that it's going to take me forever and a day. I may stop inking them and just put them down. I don't think that's something that you have to do. My mind just says ink every time that I see a piece of paper that's got a little bit of a white edge on it. But yeah, I just thought I would jump on and do some of these. I'm always needing tags. And I hate to have to stop in the middle of a journal and do a tag, make a tag. I like to have them made up already. Towel here. I like to have them made up and ready to go, and that way I don't have to worry so much about it, and I don't have to take extra time with my journals. I can just make them and go. Alright, that's it. We're going to put a little green piece down there. So yeah, I like to ink, so that's why I do it, but it's not for everybody. I understand that. And if you don't like to, then you just don't do it. And of course, these little pieces are harder to ink and all of that anyway, but now I'm going to leave just a little space. And Melina did some of these last year, and I've done a few before too, so it's not anything new, but it's just something that I wanted to do with some of these extra little pieces that I've got laying around here. That says Alberta. No, it says Albert. It does not say Alberta, Edith. You cannot read, girl. It says Albert. I was thinking this was out of that Canadian book that I had, but this is not. This is out of a different book. And see, even that little scrap would be okay to put on there, but it wouldn't go good on this one, so we'll put that over there. I want to, you know, brighter colors on this. And this piece I'll ink up pretty good because this is almost the color of the background, so you want it inked up pretty good. But the main reason I'm putting this down is because it's got a little bit of writing on there that I like the font on. Now some of these will get covered, some of them won't, but that's just the way this ball flies. And I know, like I said, other people have done these. It's not anything new. It's been around the world and back again. I just thought, since I was planning on doing some, I'd take you guys along with me. Now, usually I tear both sides, but sometimes, you know, I get a little excited and I want to get it finished, so I just don't tear both sides. But to me, it looks better if both sides are torn, but you don't have to. You can certainly just put it down like it is. Okay. That. And let's see. What about a piece of this? Go right there. Oh yeah, that'll finish it out right there. And I'm just trying to make sure that my ends are all at different levels. I don't want them all at the same level. Well, at least up here. Down here I don't care so much, but they're not at the same level either, so. I don't know that I have a whole lot to tell you guys today, other than, like I said, I don't know, this past week has been kind of a tough week for me because, you know, Whit passed away on the 19th of September. The 19th was Sunday, so it was a really hard day. I had a hard time. And then my dad passed away on the 22nd, which is tomorrow. Not of this past year. He's been gone since I was 22. But, you know, I still remember that day very, very, very well. So it's, I don't know. It's one of those things where you try to, and you know, some people don't let things like this affect them as much as I do, I know. I try not to let it affect me, but I have a terrible, terrible time with depression anyway. So, when dates like this pop up and, you know, things come to my mind, then it's just, I don't know. I can't, some days I can't shake it. It's more than I can shake. But I felt better today than I have in the last 3 or 4 days. Now, tomorrow, I have no idea how I will feel. I know, you know, people say you shouldn't put so much stock in the days and all of that, the days that it happened, but how can you keep from it? You know, let me know the secret. I would love to know the secret. Now, again, I'm going to ink around mine. You don't have to, but I like it. And I'll probably stitch. I'm going to stitch a little bit on here. Not on all of them, but like I'll stitch maybe on this one and a little bit of stitching here. And then I'm going to put my focal point down. I'm going to stitch before I put my focal point down. So I'm going to run over and stitch this one. I may not stitch every one, but I'm going to stitch on this one just to kind of show you what I'm doing. And then we'll go on to the next. And I'm going to stick this in right here. I apologize if my talking about this kind of stuff bothers you. You guys are my family. I don't have anybody else to talk to, basically. I mean, I can talk to my girls, but I don't like to talk to them about it because it just makes them feel worse. And they already feel bad enough. I mean, that was their dad. So I don't like to bring it up to them too much because it just depresses them and makes them feel bad and makes them miss him and gets them upset. So you guys are what I have to talk to. You're my friends. You're my family. So, but I did have a lady that told me one time, I get so sick of coming to your channel and all I hear is about your problems and your woes and all of that. So if it bothers you, I am sorry, but I don't have anybody else to talk to. So you guys are my family, and I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy your comments. A lot of you will comment and let me know, you know, that you're praying for me, that you know, I'm in your prayers and that kind of thing. And that helps me. That makes me feel good to know that somebody somewhere out there is thinking about me and has me on their mind. So, okay, I'm going to cut this little, I'm going to fussy cut this little guy, and I will not torture you by making you watch this. But we will come back after I get it all fussy cut. I thought I had some large ones fussy cut, but I think I've already used them in the journals that I've been making. So let me get this cut and we'll be right back. Okay, I have that fussy cut, and I just went in and put a little bit of ink on some of the white places just to kind of keep that from standing out so much. And I want to put a little label across this way. I'd like to have one that's a little bit longer. And I've just pulled out some different labels that I had in my stash. Let's see. I'd like to have one that's a little bit skinnier and a little bit longer. But we may go with that one right there. I think so. I think I'm just going to go with it. These are sticky back labels. I do have a pick tool somewhere. There it is. And there's some that we had in the store last year, I think. Don't have any more of these, but let me tell you, if you haven't already heard, Miss Betty, of course, you know, she works all the time. She's never not working, I don't think. I've never seen her not working. Even when she came up and stayed with me for a couple of days, she worked the whole time she was here. I mean, we talked, but she can work and talk at the same time. I can't, but she can. But she has adhesive labels and things now in her Etsy store. And if you use our code, you get a discount. I can't remember how much it is, but she has those for sale in her Etsy now. They're already have the adhesive on them. She mails them to you, I'm pretty sure, because I don't know how else you could get them. They are super cute. I have seen them. They're very, very pretty. So I think you'll be able to get all sorts. She's working on a lot of different ones, but I know it takes time. But she's got quite a few already going. Oh, I love that. And see, I've got the stitching here and then on here. Just some random stitching. I don't want, you know, I didn't want anything that said, oh, look at me, I'm stitched. Just some random stitching. And then I thought I'd put another little label at the top, but I don't want another one with numbers on it. I think I'll pull out maybe a Tim Holtz something or other and put it on there. Let's just do this one maybe. It just says follow your heart, and I think that black will go good with my dark stitching. The stitching's actually brown, but I think it'll go good with it. And I'm just going to put that right there and try to get it straight. Now, you're going to look at this and go, oh, how in the world can you write on that? You've got stitching on the back. If you want to cover the back of these, you can. I'm not going to worry about it because I could stitch all around through here. Plenty of room for me to stitch. But, you know, if you get one of these in one of your journals and you want to cover the back, then there you go. You can do that. I love that. And see, that's pretty simple, and we're using up our scraps. I'm going to go ahead and put a pull in a little hole in the top, a pull in the top. Put a ribbon hole in the top. And I will put some seam binding in there. I'll do that for the pictures. I won't stop and do the seam binding every time I make one. Okay, let's do one with one of these dark ones. Now with the dark, we can use some of this paper, the lighter paper. Excuse me, I got the hiccups for some reason. Oops, I don't know if I'm going to, that's a very fragile paper, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to tear it. Maybe. And see, there again, I can use that, so we're going to set that over there. I have a lot of these solid scraps, and that's why I was thinking about this. Now, you don't have to use the solid ones. You can use the decorative ones. The ones that, you know, your scraps off of your digitals or off your scrapbook paper, you can use all of that. I just have a lot of these that I tear off of the edges of books and things, and I put them back thinking, oh, well, I'll stamp on those one day. Well, I've got so many labels now, I won't ever get them all used, so I don't need to stamp any more labels. Not right now, anyway. I need to use what I have. Okay, so there's that one. And then, let's put, I think the screen paper is going to look good on there too. Look at my finger. It gets that ink all over it. It looks like I'm a smoker. You know how years ago, I don't know how it is now. I'm not around people that smoke very much, but a long time ago when everybody and anybody smoked, you could tell if they were a smoker because their fingernails would be all yellowish. Mine's all brownish. But the good part about that, that's going to wash off. That's just because I'm getting very, very close to my fingers with this. Now you could also use your glue stick or some other type of glue if you want. I just like my little fine tip glue there. So that's what I'm going to use. You can put these right together and make them a solid piece if you want. Lots of different ways you could do these. You could turn them the other way if you wanted to do that too. I don't know that I would like them as much turned sideways. And I think a piece of this would be pretty there too. So let's go ahead and tear that off. So anyway, what I was saying a minute ago, I don't get on here and talk negative, which I don't think talking about that kind of stuff is negative. It's just, that's just the way I'm feeling, you know. But I try not to do it all the time, even though sometimes I want to and I don't, because I feel like, oh, I just said that the other day. I don't need to say that again. But, you know, I have to say what's on my heart and on my mind. But no, this is not a negative Nelly channel, not meant to be. Okay. Now let's go with, and I'm just using these little pieces I've got out over here. They were already out there, so I'll just try to use those up before I go on to anything else. And two, sometimes I think that I'm hoping and praying that my talking about this kind of stuff, about my husband and my dad, and the things that bother me and things that bother my family, I'm hoping that that can help somebody out there somewhere. You know, maybe you're a widow and a recent widow, and you know, maybe it helps you to know that you're not the only one that feels the way that you do. I know I have two very close friends that one of them's husband actually passed away, well, 6 months ago today. He passed away 2 days after Whit did, and he's a very close, she was one of my admins for many years. And she and I talk sometimes, and it helps to know that she's out there. And that, I mean, not that I'm glad that she feels the way she does, because I'm definitely not. But it helps to know that when I'm feeling all alone, that I'm not the only one in this world that's feeling the way I feel, you know? Because some days you get to feeling like, oh my goodness, does anybody else feel this way? Or is it just me? All right, I'm going to stitch down, I don't know, I might just stitch down one of these, and then we'll put our focal point on there. Because I don't want to stitch them after the focal point goes on. And then this one you can definitely write on the back. Okay, clip the little strings. You could leave the strings. Some people like the strings on there. Right, I just stitched on one. Just stitched on through there. And I think I'm going to go with this flower on here. And again, I'm going to take this little mat, and I'm just going to dip it. And first I'm going to touch it kind of sideways, just so that I don't make a big glob of ink in there. And then I'm just going to slowly roll it back to the top. That way I tend to not make quite as big a mess. Sometimes when I just kind of put it down on there, I make a big mess. And it's a good way to get the edges inked without having to go around it with your blending tool. There we go. See, it just tones down a little bit of that. It doesn't cover it. And, you know, some of the flowers that I have that Rachel made, they actually have a darker background to them. And they're easier to use because they're not, they don't have that white background. So let's see. What kind of stamp do we want down here? Or not stamp, but label. I don't think I want that one for some reason. Oh, I think I like that one. Let's put that one down. And these labels came from, ooh, I want to say Mr. Paper, I believe. I think it's where these labels came from. All right, let's put that right there. Hopefully we got it straight enough. Melina did. The reason I didn't do Melina's video this week of her challenge is she did paper clips, and I had just done paper clips last week. So I didn't do her challenge this week, so I thought, I just went back and looked at some of her older videos and her older challenges, and I loved this one, so I thought. Now I'm not sure that she put the flowers and things on hers, but she decorated them very, very pretty, and I will link that video that she made below. You guys can go over and check hers out. She does a much better job of decorating than her mother does. Her mother is kind of random and helter-skelter, and she's a little bit more precise. All right, let's see. I might just put that little guy right there like that. Just kind of let him hang off. Put part of him on there because he's only stamped on part. And just let it look like that one's just coming into the scene there. So Tuesdays, I think it's going to turn into Edith needs some friends, some people to talk to day. That feels like what Tuesdays is turning into. We'll craft a little bit, but then I'll also do talk in your ears off too. I like that too. That's pretty. All right, let's do another one of these. Let's do a smaller one and see what we can come up with. And like I said, I just cut my little file folder up. I didn't cut it in any particular sizes. I just started cut it up into pieces that I thought would make good tags. And then that is it. Just I threw away the bad part. It had some really ragged parts on it, so I threw that part away. So that's what we ended up with. All right, let's pull out something else. I know I've been going to town on those little pieces that are over there. I think we can pull out some of the maybe Edith Holden now. And let's see what else we have down in here. I'm telling you, I've got a ton. Some of that. That's good. I do need to do some master boards. I've got enough paper here to do a ton of master boards. I need to do that desperately. I may try to do that if I ever get finished with all of these journals that I've got going. Oh, I love anything that's got script on it. I love that. So let's tear a few pieces of these. Let's see. Yeah, anything with script, I love. Okay, tear that little piece off. Now, when we're doing some tiny little tags, those pieces will be ideal for those tiny tags. Now, these I'm going to tear a little bit more narrow because this is a smaller tag, of course. And you don't have to tear them at all. You can cut them. You can just leave them the size that they are. Do whatever. Whatever floats your boat and makes you happy. My husband said one time, we was talking about, yeah, we were talking about somebody. We was talking about this lady at church. It just seemed like she was never happy. She never smiled. She always grumbling about something, and she did something. I can't even remember what it was. And I said, well, whatever floats your boat. And he said, I don't think her boat floats. That's just it. I don't think it floats at all. I said, well, you know, it may not. He said, I've just never seen anybody as unhappy as that woman is. Oh, that I can't tear that with that ruler. Let's just tear it like this. But she was a very unhappy lady. You know, as far as I know, she's still unhappy today. And I'm trying my very best not to turn into one of those people. You know, it's pretty easy to do when you've had, and I'm sure she's had a lifetime of hurt that has brought her to that point. But it's easy to become bitter and hateful and all that kind of stuff when you've had a lot of hurt going on in your life. But I don't want to be that kind of person. Do y'all get calls from spam? Tell me who spam is. I get so many calls from spam. Brooklyn picked up my phone the other day because it was ringing, and I was out of the room, and I said, pick the phone up, baby, and she picked it up, but she didn't answer. She said, Nana, it's somebody called spam. I said, don't answer that. I get so many a day. And, you know, I've done the thing to try to block them and all that. It doesn't work. They find another way to get to you. And some people may think, oh my goodness, that's too tedious. I don't want to do that because, you know, it takes too much time. Well, it takes a little bit of time, but what else am I going to do with all of these little scraps? I'm going to have to glue them down one way or the other, whatever I do, so that's not going to tear, Edith. That's too little. So my way of thinking is you're either going to spend time with them one way or the other. So I'd rather spend time making something pretty that I can use in my journals. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think I'll put that down like that. And I've only torn one side on this, but it's going to be okay because I'm going to kind of rough the other side up as I ink it, and it'll be fine. I mean, I spend more time with them than probably you should. Okay, now we need a long piece. Let's see, that's not long enough, but that'll go over there on the edge, and then I'll just put one right in between it. You know, we might do a couple of these with some washi too. How would y'all like that? You want to see a couple with washi, and we'll just try it and see if it works. Ooh, I don't know, it might not look like anything, but we'll try and see. Let's see, let's put that one. Look at that, I put that upside down again, and I turned it. Put that one right there. And then we just need one right in the middle, and that one's too close to the same color, so let me grab something else. Let's put a little piece of this green in there. I love this green paper. I would use this on everything if I could. Which I probably could, but, you know. Hopefully this is not too wide. No, it'll be okay. I'm going to tear it right there. It'll be okay. So I will definitely be inky when I get finished with this. But there was another project that I wanted to do today, and I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. And it definitely will get me inky. I won't tell you what it is because it's got to be a surprise. Okay, so there we go. Got that one. The little pieces down there. And I know that somebody in the comments is going to say, oh, Corey Damon, or how you say her name. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Corey. She's the one who invented those, and she may very well be. I don't know who invents what, you know. I just see people do it, and I think, well, those would look good in a journal. And I do them. I don't think Corey minds at all if somebody else does one of her projects, just like I don't mind if anybody does some of mine. That's what I do them for. I do these videos so that you'll know how to do something and that you'll get out there and do some different things. I don't do them to say, oh, look at me. You don't copy my projects. I don't care if you copy everything. It doesn't bother me at all. I want you to. Ooh, I like that one on there. Now these are just some of these are mine, some of them are Rachel's, just some cut out flowers that I have fussy cut, or they're just some flowers that I have fussy cut, not cut out. They weren't cut out to begin with. So some of them, like I said, are Rachel's, some of them are mine. You can look at our digitals and see which ones are mine and which ones are hers. And then these labels are from Katie, and they're on our freebie list over on our blog. Our blog is on our website. If you go to our website, www.scrapbookingwithme.com, and then just look over to the left, you'll see our blog. And click on that, and you'll find all sorts of little freebies over there. Whoops, I just glued my finger. Okay, let's put that down there. All the little things. Like that. And I'm just going to touch, I think I got a delivery person outside. I'm just going to touch some edges around this. This will just make the flowers stand out a little bit more from the background. Make it look a little bit more 3D and not quite so flat. And I should have put that down a little bit lower, but we're going to go with it. I've already done it now. Already done it. Let's see. Do I want another label behind this at the top? Sometimes I go a little bit too quick. Put things down. I like this saying. Oops. That one needs resticking. It says, be you bravely. Like I said, these are Tim Holtz, and they are the small talk. I do think we have those in the store. And I think I'm going to slide this one in over here. Like, whoops. That stuck to my finger. Yeah, I like that. And now we can put our flower down. That's our focal point. Now, we can do different things for focal points. You don't have to do flowers. I've got some butterflies we could do. We could do birds. I don't have any large birds that are fussy cut right now. I need to do that. But you could do large birds. You could do all sorts of things for your focal point. You just need some type of little focal point just so... Well, just so it can be your focal point. How do you like that? You need a focal point so it can be your focal point. I like that. But you know what it needs. Does anybody know what it needs? Oh no, I don't know where my washi has gone to. My favorite washi. So I guess I'm just going to grab this one. It needs a little tiny piece of washi across there. Across that stem. Because that stem is naked. I don't know where my other washi has gone. We'll find it. But in the meantime, we're going to go with that. Going to put a little ribbon punch up here. I will link this ribbon punch below. I usually have it linked, but I love it because it puts that kind of hole in there. And then it's really good to hold your ribbon, lace through there, anything. Now here's one that I practiced with and did some washi. I would have liked to have had a brighter colored bird, but I didn't have another one that was large enough already cut out. So I just put that on there. And this is just some different washi that I had in my drawer. These are not very wide. And then I just put a couple of labels on there. So that's one of those. Now, I think I'm going to try to make one with some of this washi that I got from the washi tape shop that I showed today in an earlier video. We'll have to tear it because it's way big for this, but that'll be okay. We can do that. So I'm just going to use one of these big ones. It's just another way you can use some of that washi that's in your stash. Alright, now I'm just going to start out with one. I don't have a clue. Hopefully this is, I'm going to try not to use the sticker one. Let's see, we'll cut it about right there. The reason I don't want to use the sticker one is because I don't want to have just the stickers on here. I want to have the washi on. I'm going to tear this edge because the edge has a little bit of white on there. And this washi does tear well, so I want to get on into the decorative part of it. Now, I hope you guys, ooh, that had tape on it and I didn't realize it. I hope you guys realized the pictures and everything that I put on the washi when I did the video. I tried to put the pictures on there. Some of these were actually a set, and I didn't realize that before I started doing the video. I should have looked all of that up first, and I didn't. But I was just a little bit busy, and I didn't get it done. But anyway, I tried to put labels and photos and things on there so that you would know. Some of them was a 3 set, some of them was 2. But I thought they were all so pretty. Okay, I'm bent over a piece. Now, the good thing is, this is already sticky, so we don't have to put any kind of adhesive behind it. That's the good part. All right, let's do this one. I may leave that little piece of tape off of some of these because I don't want them to tear. Let's cut that one right there. This was a set. I think this one and 2 of the others, the ones that had the piano on it, and one of them had the little tear out labels and or the little labels on it. I think all of those were set together. So I tried to let you know. I'm sorry about the confusion if there is any, but they have beautiful pictures and very clear pictures on their website, so you can go over there and you can look them up easy. That's how I did. Alright, there's one. Oh, look at that. Let's put a blue in there. Now you know what I'm going to do. And you know what? These would look good this way too, to put strips of them around that way. All right there. And this is not wasting it at all because all these other pieces I will definitely use. I'm just going to tear off this little white edge. And you know me, I'll probably use it somewhere. It tears very, very easy. Or at least the ones that I have torn do. I think I inked one and didn't ink one, and now I'm inking one, so I don't know. But they're so sticky that I don't think you would ever have to put anything extra behind them. I've got that stuck to my finger now. Let's see. They're up and down. I think that's the upside. Who has watched the Broken Wood Adventures? It's New Zealand, I think. It's very, very good. It's a good one. Let's try another one. Let's see what else we got in here. This one would be pretty. I finished the 8th season last night. It is so good. It's funny, and it's adventurous, and it's a mystery. I mean, it's all together, but it's so good. I wish there was more seasons of it, but I think 8 is all they did. I'm not sure they came back and did any more. If they did, and you know, let me know. but it's very good. That was my last series that I've had suggested to me, and I don't have another one to watch. So if you have a new series that, or a new program that you think I would enjoy. I like mystery. I don't like lovey-dovey. I don't like all of those homegoing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what they're called. Melina watches them. The Hallmark stuff. I don't like all of that because to me, I mean, if I'm going to cry, I don't want to watch movies and just cry more, you know? Oh, me. Some of you may really enjoy those Hallmark movies, but I don't. I just feel like, I mean, most of them are basically the same over and over, but Melina will sit and watch them and just squall. I mean, just cry and cry. I'm thinking, I don't want to do that. I cry enough without watching a movie to cry. I want something that makes me happy, tickles me, and that my brain can think about. You probably think I've had way too much coffee today, don't you? But I haven't. I haven't had a lot of coffee today. Oh, I tore that one a little bit short, but we're going to go with that. And then I can, now I've got a little lumpity bump. Oh, I got it out with my fingernail. Okay. Let's put another little strip of something right here. And I think I'm going to go back to, where's that one? This one. That one there. And then I'll have all of these strips to use on another one. And I have a 10% off code on this if you start to go over there. Oh, wrong way. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have a discount over there too. But if you go through my affiliate link, you know, I just get a few cents off of your purchase. I mean, it's not like I make a killing or anything, but I get a few cents off of your purchase. All right, we need, I think I'm just going to put the label here because that's a little bit blank there. So let me go ahead and ink around it a little bit. And I am using vintage photo ink. I know some people ask me and I forget to tell them, but that's what I'm using. I think I'm going to use a Tim Holtz label. Let's do this one. That's a good one. Focus on what's important. I've got little pieces of washi stuck to me everywhere. Okay, let's put that. Oh, I'll stick to the back of that. Let's put that right there, and it'll kind of close up that gap a little bit. Why can I not get those straight? There we go. Maybe. All right. And then we can put a focal point on here. Now, it's got a lot of flowers in the background, so I'm thinking that flowers is definitely not what we need to put on here. But I don't have anything else that is cut out, I don't think. Let me look real quick and see what else I've got that's already cut out. Right, I have found some butterflies. I think on this one we're going to put butterflies. So I've got an orange one that's kind of, you know, it kind of blends a little bit if I put it on certain ones, but it's okay. It stands out enough. I got a blue one and then a yellow one. So I've got a little yellow in here and here that I'm going to pull from. But I've also got I put one little label right there, and I'm going to put this label at the top. It's a little bit bigger, just to kind of balance things out a little bit. And this just says Sounds of Silence. And, you know, butterflies are pretty quiet, aren't they? I just love butterflies. And I've got a whole box of them, but I don't want to use them. Isn't that pitiful? I like to have never found one that I would turn loose of. I'm pitiful, guys. Pitiful, pitiful. Okay. Don't want to cover all of that word up, but it's okay if I leave just a little bit of it covered. You can still tell what it says, maybe. And if you can't, that's okay too. Let's see, put this one flying that way. I mean, with all those flowers back there, gotta have butterflies. And this one will just touch that little label down there and then go down. I may have got my blue one a little bit too high, but that's okay. It'll be fine. I can always put another one or something else right here if I need to. I feel like that little space is naked. Right, I've got this little tiny label. Well, it's tiny now. It wasn't so tiny when I started cutting on it. I think I'm going to put that down right there. It's got some of this pinkish color in there. And I do believe maybe it'll work. I think this is a sticker. Maybe. Maybe not. Just want to get something in that little empty spot there. There we go. That will work. So who said you can't have 3 labels on one tag? You can. Alright, let's see. I hope I won't cut my little bird's wing if I punch this. Maybe not. No, right above it. Alright, so there is another one. Now his little wing is hanging off just a tiny bit, and I'm going to clip that just so that it doesn't get torn when you put it down into a pocket. Alright, I am going to probably stitch around these and put some seam binding in them, and I will show you pictures at the end. Thank you guys for coming along with me. Thank you for listening to me and all of your sweet comments that I always get. I enjoy reading them. I read every one of them. And some I can respond to, some I don't have time to, but I try to heart every one, at least to let you know that I enjoyed it and I have read it. So we appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.